Welcome back to another episode of Wacky Work Stories of the Week. I'm Pete.
And I'm Peter.
We're going to talk about stories that have been posted on LinkedIn or Reddit in the past couple of days and try to figure out what the person who posted it was thinking and maybe figure out if they're real or fake. All right, Peter, you ready to do this?
Let me see what you got. I haven't seen any of these yet.
This week, I'm reading stories to Peter and we're going to see what he thinks about them. So let's get going with
All
the first one. This first one is just something Elon Musk, of all people, posted on Twitter yesterday. And I'm calling it Twitter, not X. He was replying to a post that was put up by SHRM, which is Society for Human Resources Management. And this was his response. And I'm going to quote, "Posting on LinkedIn is so embarrassing, borderline fireable offense, in my opinion." So Elon thinks posting on LinkedIn is borderline fireable.
Elon says some of these like unhinged things just to get a rise from people because like he's got to be trolling. What is fireable about posting on a professional social media network? I would say X or Twitter is less professional than LinkedIn is.
Well, I think I find it particularly funny that he said it's embarrassing because we do see a lot of embarrassing things posted on LinkedIn, right? That happens every day of every week.
I guess it depends on the context of it, but just saying a blanket statement like that's kind of a little bit weird.
All right. So let's go on to the next one. This one, I don't think this is real, but we'll see. This was a post from LinkedIn. "I used to sell illegal drugs and I was good at it. Thank God I got arrested." I don't know why he's thankful that he got arrested.
You got his life turned around.
"I keep this quote work experience on my LinkedIn to show that formerly incarcerated people have valuable and transferable skills. If your company is open to considering formerly incarcerated job candidates, you should check out the company I've built. We have over 500 companies source, vet, hire, and retain formerly incarcerated job candidates. Everyone deserves a second chance." And then under that, he has his job title as drug dealer, misguided talent, self-employed, January 2009 to November 2010.
I like that he's got like start date and end date.
Well, he goes on. He actually has some bullets under his job as drug dealer. Started with $500 and grew the business to over $8,000 a month in revenue.
Okay.
That's nice growth. Met and exceeded customer expectations, successfully managed multiple suppliers, successfully collected all receivables without the use of intimidation or violence, and closed down operations after being arrested and sentenced to prison.
I actually think it's funny because like he does it in a kind of a funny way. Also, he's advertising his own company, which is specializes in that. So it kind of worked. I mean, if we're talking about it, I would say if it was just like a random person, like maybe not, but he puts his thought process out there and that's his entire company business, like getting people hired who are formerly incarcerated. So I think it's definitely true. And while kind of out there, I think it's kind of funny and it worked.
Okay, so one guess which state he's located in.
Like California.
He's in Florida.
Well,
Fun.
yeah.
That was a layup. Florida man? No?
He's a true Florida man. He's an enterprising individual. I like that he's got his like bullets there though, and he's like written them in like corporate speak.
Very, very professional of him as a drug dealer. All right. Next one. Today, Lattice made history. So Lattice is the name of a company. "We became the first company to give digital workers official employee records in Lattice. This marks a huge moment in the evolution of AI technology and of the workplace. It takes the idea of a quote AI employee from concept to reality and marks the start of a new journey for Lattice to lead organizations forward in the responsible hiring of digital workers." So it goes on, but basically what they're doing is making employee records for AI quote employees that aren't even real.
That's why I was like, it started off normal, and I was like, wait a minute, are they talking about like fake people?
I guess, but what the hell is happening where someone is making up employees that aren't real? Now we know there's a lot of fake stuff on LinkedIn, but now we're consciously making fake employees and giving them record. For what purpose? I have no idea.
I love that. It's going to be one of those companies. It's like, we have 50 employees and it's just like 50 like series. We have 50 iPhones that we ask questions to, and those are my employees.
You can show up on some top employer lists, maybe, right? Best places to work for your 50 employees.
Our employee satisfaction surveys are great. All of them love working.
So here's the next slide on it. It says, "Within Lattice's people platform, AI employees will be securely onboarded, trained, and assigned goals, performance metrics, appropriate systems access, and even a manager."
Or so what? You like Onboarding in AI is like what? Putting in your login.
I have no idea.
You got a chat GPT and then you got a manager chat GPT to manage.
Have you ever heard of Lattice? I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of this. I guess everyone's got to try and do something outrageous to try and make a name for this.
Well, they're making history with their digital employees, I think.
It's a company that's AI run by AI for AI.
It's the CEO, but that's a good question. Is she real? I don't know. We'll never know. And is it even appropriate to say she? Because I'm pretty sure AI would be gender neutral, right?
I mean, have you heard of dead internet theory? It's that everybody on the internet's a bot.
Since we are living in a simulation, I guess it's all mood anyway. So, all right, fair enough. Here's the next one. It will always, and I mean always, baffle me when I cold call a prospect, they pick up and then prospect, hello, me. Hey, this is Kevin from XYZ company. Did I catch you with a free minute? Prospect. I'm walking onto an airplane right now. I'm picking up my daughter from preschool. I'm buying groceries. I'm in a zone that just got affected by a hurricane. I have no time for this. Hangs up. Seems so odd to me that in 2024, folks would pick up the phone when they do not recognize the number and then say they are too busy to talk. I agree with this 100%. And I pulled it up just because I wanted to ask you, why would someone pick up a call if they had no intention of actually talking to the person?
Now, see, this has happened to me where I've gotten calls and it's like a random sales call on my cell phone. And I was like waiting for a call from like the doctor's office or something.
Okay.
And I don't have that number in my phone. So I pick it up expecting doctor's office or, I had a contractor like working on my house, expecting that. And then I get blindsided by, hey, this is so-and-so from a company I've never heard of. And then do you have a free? No, I don't have a free one. Not to talk to you. Sorry, random sales guy. But that's why you always need to do warmly. You need to be sending me like emails or something so I actually know who your company is. Because more than once I've gotten people call me and then they just start talking like I know who they are, like I know who their company is. And like they're my old friends. So I get it if you're, waiting for another phone call. But yeah, I generally don't answer phone numbers I don't know.
Well, not long after COVID and we started working virtually, it occurred to me that answering a call from a number I didn't expect or recognize was never good. There was never any benefit to me. It was always some sort of sales call or political call or whatever it might be. And I stopped doing it. And every once in a while, like you just said, if I'm waiting for the doctor to call or something where I can expect a call from a number that I wouldn't necessarily have in my phone, I'll answer. And it's always the same thing. It's always a call that I do not want, someone selling something. And so it is weird. Like, who's this person still picking up the phone these days? Why do that?
It gets me because I'm like, I feel like I like irrationally mad sometimes because it's happened a few times. And I'm like, you tricked me. I thought this was the doctor's office.
Okay. So no picking up the phone if you don't know who's calling. Let's just all adhere to that and life will be better for everyone.
If you're a salesperson watching this, like I'm obviously not talking about you. They'll go off of their data that's not even necessarily correct. My dad's name is the exact same name as mine. I talked to him. He's like, oh, so-and-so called me from this company and was looking for you. They're calling my father, who is a 67-year-old retired engineer. So sorry. Like, make sure that if you're calling, you need to make sure that you got the right information, because even if they pick up, you might not be talking.
Well, I have to confess that I will do that often with vendors that reach out to me. I'll say, it would be an email or text. Like a lot of them text me now, which I guess it's easier to respond to. So I don't mind that. But even yesterday I said, oh, I'm Pete. You're looking for Peter. You need to reach out to him.
I get several of those a day also with people. Cause yeah, texting is I guess that's the new thing, is people sending sales texts.
I appreciate that though, right? It's easier. No niceties, no back and forth. Just get to the point. Yeah. This is why you're calling. And in this guy's defense who texted me yesterday, it was actually relevant to our business. It's a current vendor we use. So I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely better because I can see what you want and get straight to the point. I don't need to do a long voicemail. Hate when they do that.
No doubt. All right. So this next one is near and dear to my heart because we're in the recruiting and staffing business. So anyone who's a third-party recruiter will definitely appreciate this at some level. You might not like it, but at least you'll know where this guy's coming from. So here we go. This is a screenshot of a text. So the recruiter's sending a text to their client. It says, thanks for the other night. You were absolutely sensational. I can't wait to do it again. And then two little, devil emojis. And the response was, sorry, who is this? And then the guy says, okay, coincidentally, Peter, it's Toby from Mark's Consulting Partners. Glad your phone is working. Sent you 3 CVs 2 weeks ago and haven't heard a thing back. Please let me know your thoughts so that I can keep my candidates up to date. How great is that?
That's a little bit of a dirty trick there, but I can totally see some recruiters doing that. Like, oh, and so your phone does work.
It's so wonderful. I don't know this guy. His name's Toby Mark. He's a recruiter somewhere. I'm assuming he's in the UK since he wrote CV instead of resume. I love it. It's creative. It's probably going to get you in trouble with a lot of people, but recruiters who are sitting and waiting, just like candidates who are sitting and waiting indefinitely for an answer. What a way to get someone's attention to imply that you hooked up with them. The title of the LinkedIn Lunatics post where I saw this was recruiter set strangers. I'm like, yeah, okay. I like it.
That's like, we've heard of recruiters in the past, like calling into an office, being like, oh, it's so-and-so's niece. You know, I'm trying to get a hold of my uncle, and the receptionist will put them through to it and like, oh, hey, sorry, now that I've got you. This is whoever.
I love it. All right. The last story for this week, and I'm not going to read this one, but it's an article that I came across in Fortune magazine. Here's the headline. Why Zoom, yes, Zoom went back to in-person work according to its chief people officer. So Zoom, the company that makes products that allow us to work virtually. Now, we're not recording on Zoom right now, but we use it constantly, or at least did before we switched to Slack, which we prefer. They're making everyone come back to the office a couple of days a week if they live within a 50-mile radius of a Zoom location. But here's the best part. The chief people officer is going to continue to work remotely.
Gotta love the rules for thee, but not for me mindset.
How about that? So Matthew Saxon says that we're still majority remote, but I think a lot of people forget how many of our products and solutions are designed for in-office work. No one can forget that because no one ever knew that. What Zoom products are made for in-office work? What is that?
Are they Zooming each other from there? They're like, okay, I'm in my office, but you're in your office. I'm not going to get up and go talk to you. I'm going to Zoom you from like office to office here. But yeah, I like that the workers have to do it, but the managers are like, oh, these rules don't apply to me.
And shame on you, Zoom. Stay in your lane. That's what I say. If you make products that allow people to work remotely, you've got to eat your own dog food.
That's the entire point of Zoom. Like, that's actually, supposed to be a selling point of them is, hey, we use all our own products. We're all remote. So them doing that makes me think that maybe Zoom's not the best tool for remote work then.
All right. So that wraps it up for this week. Wacky work stories. I think that's what we'll keep calling it, Peter, because there's a lot of wacky stuff out there. So that's it. Thanks for joining us. It's your turn next week. You're going to read the stories for me. You're going to pick them out.
All right.
All right. Goodbye for now. Thanks, everyone.
See ya.